Marriage is more than just a relationship between two people. It is a sacred trust, a bond created by Allah Himself. It is not just about love or companionship. It is a journey of growth, faith, and responsibility. When the right time comes, Allah brings two hearts together in a way that no one else can. But how do you know if you are being prepared for this significant step? How can you recognize the signs that Allah is guiding you toward marriage? Stay with us as we uncover 7 powerful signs that indicate Allah is preparing you for marriage. These are not coincidences. They are moments carefully placed in your life by the Almighty to shape you for the responsibilities of a blessed union. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And among His signs is that He created for you from yourselves spouses that you may find tranquility in them, and He placed between you affection and mercy. Indeed, in that are signs for people who reflect." Surah Ar-Rum 30:21. Marriage in Islam is built on 3 foundations: tranquility, love, and mercy. When Allah prepares you for marriage, He instills these qualities in your heart. He refines your character, strengthens your patience, and teaches you the value of true companionship. So, if you recognize these signs in your life, know that Allah is leading you towards something meaningful, something that will bring you closer to Him, a journey that, if done right, will not only complete half of your deen, but also elevate your soul. Are you ready to find out if Allah is preparing you for marriage? Let's begin. Sign 1. A strong desire for marriage, not just a relationship. One of the clearest signs that Allah is preparing you for marriage is the deep and sincere longing for a halal union, one that is built on faith, love, and responsibility. This is not just a passing desire or a reaction to loneliness. Rather, it is a calling from within, guiding you toward a meaningful and blessed companionship. In the past, you may have been indifferent toward marriage, or perhaps you viewed it as something far in the future. But now your heart feels drawn to it for the right reasons. You are no longer interested in temporary connections or superficial relationships. You understand that true companionship in Islam is not about fleeting emotions, but about building a life together in accordance with Allah's guidance. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, emphasized the importance of marriage for young people when he said, "O young people, whoever among you can afford to marry, let him do so, for it is more effective in lowering the gaze and guarding chastity." Sahih al-Bukhari 5665. This hadith highlights 2 key benefits of marriage: protecting one's faith and safeguarding one's modesty. If you find yourself thinking more about these aspects, desiring a spouse who will help you lower your gaze, strengthen your deen, and build a righteous home, then know that this is not by accident. It is a sign that Allah is preparing your heart for something noble. Perhaps you feel an urge to learn about the rights and responsibilities of a spouse. Maybe you are drawn to stories of righteous marriages in Islam. These are all indications that your mindset is shifting, that you are ready to embrace the duties and rewards that come with a halal partnership. Remember, when Allah places a pure desire in your heart, He also prepares the path for you to achieve it. If this longing is growing stronger within you, take it as a sign that Allah is guiding you toward a future filled with love, tranquility, and spiritual fulfillment. Sign 2. You are focused on self-improvement. Before Allah grants you a righteous spouse, He prepares you to be one. One of the most important signs that Allah is leading you toward marriage is your increasing desire to improve yourself, not just for your own sake, but to become a better partner in the future. You begin to reflect on your character, your habits, and your relationship with Allah. You start asking yourself, am I patient? Am I kind? Am I responsible? Because deep down, you realize that marriage is not just about receiving love and care. It is about giving, sacrificing, and growing together. Perhaps you notice a stronger effort to strengthen your faith. You strive to pray on time, recite more Quran, and seek knowledge about the rights and responsibilities of a spouse in Islam. You become more conscious of your words and actions, knowing that the way you treat people today will reflect how you treat your future spouse tomorrow. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, beautifully said, "The best among you are those who are best to their wives." Sunan at-Tirmidhi, 1162. This means that true goodness is not just about performing acts of worship. It is about how you treat those closest to you. If you find yourself working on your patience, controlling your anger, or learning how to communicate better, these are not small changes. They are clear signs that Allah is preparing you for the responsibilities of marriage. Marriage is not just about finding someone compatible. It is about becoming someone worthy of a righteous companion. If you are actively striving to better yourself, know that Allah sees your efforts. He is molding you, shaping you, and getting you ready for the beautiful journey of marriage that lies ahead. Sign 3. You are learning patience and trusting Allah's timing. Marriage is not just about meeting the right person. It is about waiting for the right time that Allah has written for you. If you have been facing delays or challenges in your journey toward marriage, but instead of feeling hopeless, you find yourself growing in patience and trust in Allah, know that this is not a setback. It is a preparation. At times, you may wonder why things are not happening as quickly as you had hoped. You see others getting married, and you ask yourself, when will it be my turn? But deep inside, you are learning to silence the impatience and replace it with tawakkul, complete trust in Allah's wisdom. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And be patient. Surely Allah is with those who are patient." Surah Al-Anfal, 8:46. This patience is not just about waiting. It is about how you wait. It is about surrendering to Allah's plan, knowing that He knows what is best for you, even when you do not understand it yet. Perhaps He is protecting you from the wrong person, or perhaps He is refining you so that when the right one arrives, you are fully ready. Many people rush into marriage only to realize that they were not prepared for the responsibilities that come with it. But when Allah makes you wait, He is strengthening you. He is teaching you resilience, emotional maturity, and faith, qualities that will be essential in a successful marriage. So, if you are learning to embrace patience and trust in Allah's perfect timing, understand that this is a sign that Allah is molding you, preparing your heart, and aligning your destiny with the spouse He has chosen for you. Sign 6. You find yourself making dua for a righteous spouse. When Allah places a sincere desire in your heart, He also places the words of dua on your tongue. If you notice yourself repeatedly asking Allah for a righteous spouse, not just out of loneliness, but because you long for a marriage that brings you closer to Him, then know that this is a sign Allah is preparing you for this sacred bond. Perhaps in the past, marriage was not something you actively prayed for, but now your heart feels drawn to supplications filled with sincerity and hope. You find yourself asking Allah for a spouse who will help you strengthen your faith, someone who will support you in worship, patience, and goodness. This is no coincidence. This is divine alignment. Allah teaches us a beautiful dua in the Quran. Our Lord, grant us from among our wives and offspring comfort to our eyes and make us leaders for the righteous. Surah Al-Furqan 25:74. This is not just a request for a spouse. It is a plea for a marriage filled with tranquility, love, and righteousness. When you make such a dua with sincerity, it shows that you are not just thinking about marriage as a worldly desire, but as a means to grow spiritually. The beauty of making dua is that it strengthens your connection with Allah. It reminds you that no matter how much effort you put into preparing for marriage, only He knows the perfect time and the perfect person for you. The moment you start turning to Allah, seeking His guidance in choosing the right spouse, is the moment your heart aligns with His plan. So, if your duas have changed, if you find yourself asking Allah to bless you with a spouse who will be a source of peace and faith, understand that Allah is not just listening to your prayers. He is guiding your heart toward the marriage He has written for you. Sign 7. Opportunities for marriage. Start presenting themselves. When the time for marriage draws near, Allah begins to place opportunities in your life. You may start noticing that marriage proposals are coming your way, or family members and friends begin suggesting potential spouses. These moments are not coincidences. They are signs that Allah is facilitating your path toward marriage. Perhaps for a long time, marriage was just a distant thought. But now, doors that were once closed are beginning to open. Conversations about marriage happen more frequently, and people around you start taking an interest in helping you find the right partner. These are subtle, yet powerful signs that Allah is setting things into motion. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, advised, "When someone whose religion and character you are pleased with proposes, then marry him." Sunan at-Tirmidhi, 1084. This hadith reminds us that when Allah presents a good opportunity for marriage, someone with strong faith and good character, we should not delay unnecessarily. When Allah decrees something, He makes the path smoother by aligning circumstances in your favor. It is important to recognize these moments and approach them with wisdom. Pay attention to the people entering your life, the recommendations from loved ones, and the unexpected ways in which marriage opportunities arise. If you find yourself in this phase, take it as a sign that Allah is bringing you closer to your destined partner. Marriage is not something we rush into, but when Allah facilitates the way, we must be ready to embrace His plan. If the right doors are opening, trust that Allah is guiding you toward a blessed and fulfilling union. Final thoughts. If you recognize these signs in your life, take them as a blessing. Allah is guiding you towards something sacred and meaningful. Every step you take in preparation for marriage is part of His divine plan, shaping you into the person He wants you to be. But remember, marriage is not just about finding the right person. It is about becoming the right person. A successful and fulfilling marriage is built on faith, patience, and a sincere commitment to pleasing Allah. Continue making dua, strengthen your connection with Allah, and trust that His timing is always perfect. Even if things don't happen as quickly as you expect, know that Allah is never late. He is always preparing the best for you in ways you cannot yet see. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, said, "Marriage is part of my sunnah. Whoever turns away from my sunnah is not from me." Sunan Ibn Majah, 1846. This reminder teaches us that marriage is not just a personal decision. It is a path of faith, love, and responsibility. May Allah grant you a righteous spouse, a marriage filled with tranquility, and a home built upon the foundation of Islam. Ameen. If this video touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspirational Islamic content. Let us know in the comments which sign resonated with you the most. Jazakum Allahu khairan for watching, and may Allah guide you on this beautiful journey. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.